The courtroom doors swung open so hard you can hear the sound of the doors slamming against the wall. Then it was dead silent, except for the sound of her feet stomping on the floor and a few whispers around the room. She's here. Boss is here. Her presence in the room had sent shivers down my spine. As she walks to her chair, I stared intently at the floor, but I could feel her staring at me from the corner of my eyes. Waves of fear kept surging through me, even after all this time. I'm still so afraid of her. Will she finally face justice? Are they really going to convict her for these horrible crimes? Or is she just going to walk because of some technicality? The judge announces after she sits down, "Today we will continue with the testimonies of the alleged victims and eyewitnesses. Can the next witness, Joy, please come forward?" As I got up, I could feel all eyes are pointed at me. My social worker, Lisa, gently places her hand on my arm and says to me, "You are ready. You can do this." I took a deep breath, got up, and walked up with the prosecutor, Annie, to the stand. Annie carefully positioned herself between me and Boss the whole time so that I wouldn't see her when I testified. She asked me, "Are you ready, Joy? Please tell us how you met the defendant." And then it all came rushing back to me. "Joy, are you staying here tonight?" Sally yells from her house. "No, Sally. Auntie is sending me to my other auntie's house tonight," I yelled back at her. Then she pops her head back into the house and comes out the door. "Again? You hate it there," she says as she approaches me. "Yeah, but since Mom moved away for work, everyone just keeps passing me back and forth. No one will keep me, so what can I do? I'm like a stray dog." Sally sighs and says, "Well then, I'll see you next time when you come back." And then she runs back into the house. I never knew that the next time I'd see her, I wouldn't be the same person anymore. I was 10 years old at the time. One evening, I was in front of my aunt's house playing with the other girls my age in the area when she walked by. Her, whom we'd later call Boss. Everyone knew who she was, as she had a lot of power in the area. She was also known to have a lot of money as well. We didn't really know her well, and she would always look very serious when she would walk by. But that day, when she saw all of us sitting there, she seemed quite happy and upbeat. She turned to us and smiled, and then she walked towards us. "Hi girls, since you're just sitting around, you know if you want some money, I could use some help cleaning my house. It's a huge mess everywhere. If you all come together to do it, it shouldn't take that much time," she said. We were young and naive and hungry, and it wasn't the first time someone would pay us to clean. Plus, she seemed like a respected member of the community. She wasn't some shady guy luring us to his house. So we all thought, what's the worst that could happen? As we walked in, she locked the door behind us and brought us to the dining area. It wasn't exactly clean in there, but it wasn't as bad as she had described it either. We all waited for her to give us directions on what to do and where to clean first, but instead, she took out her camera and started taking pictures of us. As she began to tell us how to pose, we started to feel a bit strange. Her tone of voice started to become more serious, and all of a sudden she said, "Okay girls, I'm gonna pay you a little extra if you take off your clothes. Only for a bit, and I'll double the money I'll pay you." We stood there, stunned, and didn't know what to do. Again, she rushed us. Come on, hurry up. It's just a few pictures, nothing to feel weird about." We felt like we couldn't leave, and the door was locked, and we didn't know what she was capable of. So we just obeyed, and that was how it continued to be. Boss would say we should look happy, so we'd smile. Boss would say we should look like we're enjoying it, so we'd laugh. Thinking about it now, it was strange how all of us just did as she said. We just didn't know any better. Days passed. Days turned into months, and months into years. I followed her instructions which she seemed to get from people watching online. I had to do all kinds of stuff on camera. Who were these people telling Boss what they wanted us to do? As time went by, the things I had to do got stranger and stranger, and sometimes they asked for too much. On top of that, Boss would often yell at me about something I did wrong during a cyber chat or during a live streaming show. In the beginning, I'd often cry or yell, but it just kept getting worse and worse. Over time, I was just numb, and I would just simply follow the boss's instructions. I snapped back into the courtroom. I saw all eyes were on me. I started to tremble and felt tears rolling down my cheeks. It was so hard to look at everyone around the room just staring at me. I felt so vulnerable and exposed. But I knew what I was doing was the right thing, and that was everything I was holding on to. I wanted to be part of preventing this from ever happening to another girl. I've come such a long way now. She can't hurt me anymore. Thank you. I know this must have been very hard for you, Joy. There is no need to go into more detail. Your Honor, we'd like to submit footage and pictures as evidence. They'll speak for themselves, Annie said. The judge asked me to step down. Annie carefully walked me down, continuing to carefully position herself between me and Boss. Lisa gave me a big hug, stroked my head, and told me that I had been very brave. As Lisa and I left the courtroom, the next victim walked in to take the stand against Boss. Sitting outside the courtroom to catch my breath, Lisa kept reassuring me that she was here for me. She's always been so great to me. In fact, she and everyone at the shelter, like the administrators and staff, they really helped me. They provided me with the love and support I needed to heal, to move forward, to regain my strength, to grow in confidence, and to start pursuing my goals again. Without her and the reintegration support network, I would have never been able to return to school, finish high school, and enroll in college. I wouldn't have been able to inspire others who have gone through the same, that there is hope and that they shouldn't give up. We ended up sitting outside the courtroom for a while. I saw several of the victims walk into the courtroom, one by one, as tense and scared as I was, and coming back out with tears in their eyes. Sitting there, seeing these girls, I kept having flashbacks to the sound of the camera being turned on, the sound of the messages instructing me what to do, Boss yelling at me. It all kept pouring back to me. I also felt a kind of guilt. It was a voice telling me that I should have helped them, that I could have helped them. It was all so overwhelming. But I learned in the group therapy session that it was normal that we felt this way. And so I did what my therapist told us to do, which was to breathe through it and remind myself that I am no longer there and how far along I've come. After a long day of testimonies, the courtroom was finally adjourned. Lisa and I had been sitting outside the courtroom for many hours and had seen many girls go in and out. It has been 6 years now since the day Boss was arrested and we were freed from the situation we were in. It took a long time for me to adjust, and it's been nearly impossible to be here today, but I want to seek justice not just for myself, but for all the others whom Boss victimized. And we in turn want to inspire other victims as well as deter other bosses from taking advantage of children this way. For years I have been so afraid of her. Even after the police rescued us and I was safe, I still felt afraid and would have nightmares of what she made me do. I still don't really feel free, and I don't think I will until the day I hear that she will be convicted for everything she's done to us. Lisa assures me she will be, but I will never feel 100% safe until I know for certain that she won't be able to come after me again. Before Lisa and I left the building, part of me wanted to see Boss leaving the courtroom. I wanted to see some semblance of guilt, some sorrow or regret, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. Boss wanted too badly for things that were just not in her reach, things that were impossible for her. She was willing to hurt and sacrifice anyone and anything for it, but knowing I'm finally out of it, I'll finally be able to continue to heal, pursue my dreams, be with my family, and be a part of helping others to get away from what I went through. We made this video in collaboration with International Justice Mission to help raise awareness and fight online exploitation of children, or OSEC in short. IJM is working alongside Philippine authorities to combat these and other types of exploitation since 2001. With the rise of the internet, offenders from around the world can search online, anonymously wire payment, and direct live videos of children from the safety of their own home. People like Joy's boss record and broadcast these children online in exchange for money. The US government has now given top priority to stop OSEC. Please click the link below to find out more about what IJM does and how you can support us in the fight against these growing issues.